Structure of matter. What is matter made up of? Matter is composed of very small particles. These particles of matter are called atoms. Let's take an example. If we take a piece of iron and we continue breaking it into smaller pieces, it must end somewhere. That iron cannot be broken down further. John Dalton, a scientist of 19th century, named the smallest piece of iron as atom or an iron atom. Similarly, if the smallest particle of gold is there, we call it gold atom. Actually, atoms are so small that they cannot be seen by even most powerful microscope. But as iron atom and gold atom, the smallest particle of water is not water atom. Because water is itself made up of two atoms, that is oxygen and hydrogen. The smallest particle of water is 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. These forms one molecule of water. Elements and compound. Element, a substance made up of only one kind of atom that cannot be broken down into simpler substance by chemical methods, is called an element. The smallest particle of an element is an atom. There are about 118 different elements. Out of these, 92 elements are naturally occurring on the earth and remaining are made in the laboratories by the scientists. Compounds. A substance formed by chemical combination of two or more elements in a fixed proportion is called a compound. The smallest particle of a compound is a molecule. Here, atoms form molecules and elements form compound. How elements form compound? Millions of different kinds of molecules can be made by only 118 kinds of atoms. That is why we can form millions of compounds and can see millions of compounds around us. Their examples are like water. Water is also a compound. Chalk, sugar, vinegar are all compounds. Now let's define atom and molecule. An atom. Atom is the smallest particle of an element that can take part in chemical reactions. It may or may not exist independently in nature. A molecule. A molecule is the smallest particle of an element or compound that can normally exist independently. There is a fascinating thing that we can see amongst the atoms. Like hydrogen and oxygen are both gases, but when they combine together, they form water, which is a liquid. Now there is one more thing. That atom of two poisonous substances, that is sodium and chlorine, can combine together to form salt, a compound that we can use every day. Properties of compound. A compound can be broken down into its constituent element by chemical method. For example, each water molecule is made up of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, that is H2O. Water can be broken down into elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen separately, by passing electricity through it. If we want to convert these oxygen and hydrogen, we want them separately, we will pass electricity through water, that is H2O particle. Now, a compound always contains the same elements combined together in a fixed ratio. No matter from where you take water, it will always contain hydrogen and oxygen in the same ratio, that is 2:1. That is two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Now, sugar is a compound of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Means sugar contains elements of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Its molecule contains 12 atoms of carbon, 22 atoms of hydrogen and 11 atoms of oxygen. So in the proportion we can write them as 12:22:11 will remain constant no matter from where you take sugar that is produced. Mixture. When two or more elements or compound are mixed together and there is no chemical change between them, we get a mixture. Means there is no chemical reaction between them and it is not forming a compound. Even when we mix them together, it forms a mixture. Now let's talk about compounds and mixture. Difference between compound and mixture. Properties are combination of constituent. Constituent can be obtained together chemically, means combined together chemically, and constituent of these mixture can combine together by physically only, means by physical method only. Energy changes. Often energy is absorbed or released during the formation of these compounds. Often in mixture, no energy is absorbed or released when a mixture is formed. Ratio of constituents. Same constituents are present in fixed ratio. In compounds, the same constituent of the elements are present in fixed ratio. Like we talk about the sugar compound, that is 12:22:11. They are present in fixed ratio. They cannot be changed. And in the constituent of mixture, it can be present in any ratio. Means constituent can be present in any ratio in mixture. Now separation of these constituents. Constituents can be separated by only chemical method in compounds, and in mixture it can be separated by physical method only. Like we mix them together in chemical method. By chemical method it can be separated by chemical method only, and mixture it has been combined by physical method and it can be separated by physical method only. Properties change. Means in compound it has different properties those of their constituents. Likewise, I told you in between that we mixed two poisonous substance, that is sodium and chlorine, that form our salt, that is NaCl, that contains a property actually different from those of its constituent that are poisonous. And same in water we talk about it is, and one more thing in water we can talk about, they have different constituents that have different properties. Hydrogen support means hydrogen burns fire and oxygen supports burning, but when it is about water, water puts out the fire. Now let's talk about symbols and formulas. Symbols we use represent elements, means that symbols we use are used to represent elements like H, now O, C, that is for hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. Now formulas. A compound is represented by formulas which contain symbols of all elements present in a compound. Like here these are symbols HOC. Now let's talk about formulas. Formulas are the combination, means that contains symbols of all elements in a compound. Like water we can talk, I told you that water formula is H2 and O. Water formula is H2O. Now let's talk about more elements like hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. Iron sulfide we can talk about, that is FeS. Small s E is there, FeS. These are formulas of a compound, and symbols are HOC, means hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. Earlier scientists used different types of symbols, that like Dalton used symbols like C, a circle inside it is C as copper, I as iron, S as silver, G inside a circle as gold, hydrogen for dot, and carbon as black circle, and oxygen as white circle. And alchemy symbols were exactly different from Dalton symbols, but after them Berzelius suggested to use alphabets as symbols, like we did that of hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. These three are alphabets only, but they are represented as symbols also. Valencies. Before this valency, let's talk about the information that formula gives to us. Now let's talk about water is made up of two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. Thus we get to know that formula of a compound tells the types of elements present in a compound, that is hydrogen and oxygen. Now a molecule of water contains two atoms, that is two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Thus the formulas again tells us about how many atoms of each elements are present in a compound. Now, H2O represents one molecule of water. The formula represents the molecule of a compound. If we have to represent two molecules of water, we write 2H2O. Similarly, 5H2O, 5 of water means, now let me tell you, if we write like this 5H2O, it represents as 5 molecules of water. 5 molecules of water. If we write 2H2O, 2 molecules of water. Similarly, we can write any number like 10 molecule, 10H2O, that represent 10 molecules, 6H2O, that represent 6 molecules of water. Now let's come back to the topic valency. Now, valency of an element or a group denotes its combining capacity, means in which capacity does it combine together. Now let's talk about hydrogen and let's learn about some symbols and their valencies. Hydrogen symbol is H. Valency of hydrogen is 1. Sodium symbol is Na. Valency is 1. Potassium is K and its valency is 1. These are different valencies. Let's talk about them more. Mercury, Hg, its valency is 1 or 2, and in copper also 1 and 2. I want to talk about that the valency or the formulas in which or the elements in which it shows more than one valency, it is known as variable valencies. Means these valency, that is 2 or 3 of sulfur, iron and this nitrogen, these are known as variable valencies because they are containing more than one valency. Iodine, that is I, valency is 1. Nitrate, NO3, that is NO3, 1. Calcium, Ca, and its valency is 2. Iron, Fe, its valency is 2 or 3. Sulfur is S and its valency is 2, 4 or 6. We can write them. Aluminium, all Al3, its valency is 3. Nitrogen is N, its valency is NO3, means 5. Carbon, C, and its valency is 4. Now let's come back to the formula topic. I want to tell you what is writing a formula. Means we can write the formula of a compound if we know how the symbol of a compound or group it is made up of, the valency of the element group it is made up of. Now, steps involved here are that write the symbol of the element or a group side by side. Write their valencies on the top in subscript. Now, like we have that table in which valency of H represented 1. We write their valency in the top as subscript and their elements as another. Divide by any common factor in their valency. Interchange the number obtained and write them as the base. Means how many elements are present in this one. Like O, we have oxygen. We will find the prime factor, means common factor of them, and we will receive a base that will come will be here, can be 3, 4, 5, but if we talk about we got common factor as 2, we will write H2. O. Okay. Now writing formula for ammonia. Let's write about ammonia. Ammonia, I mean. Now let's write formula for ammonia. The element of ammonia are nitrogen and hydrogen. Let's write them. Nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay. Now the valency of this nitrogen is 3. Here we write 3. And hydrogen is 1. We move on to the third step, interchanging the valency and writing them as subscript. One more thing in H2O, I wanted to tell you that valency of O is 2 and H is 1. So we will interchange them, then it will become H2O. And in this, if we interchange the valencies, it will become, the formula will become NH and 3, our base is 3. So that was simple to write this formula. Now let's come to chemical equations. Chemical equations shows the result of a chemical reaction in which reactants are products and are represented by symbols or formulas. Now in a chemical reaction, it is between the reactants and the product that is represented, that the product is placed in the sign of this, we can see here. Now the reactions are written on left hand side of the arrow, means our reactants are written on the left side of our arrow, means it, and the product are written on the right hand side of our arrow, means this right hand. Now let's talk about them again in them, means this arrow is represented using reactants and the product is placed, means the reactants are, means this is a product. Again we will talk about them, this and this. This is our product and the reactants are written on the left hand side, that is reactant here. Now NH3 is our these are product and these are our NH. These are also placed after the sign of arrow. Now the number of atom of each element on the left hand side should be the same as number of atom on the right hand side. Now we can see it is NH and NH. Now it is correct, but it is not forming a compound, nothing. So if I want to add N2H2 and I wrote here N3, this also nothing, it doesn't form any compound because there are 2 atoms of nitrogen and 2 atoms of hydrogen, and here we are able to see that here is 3, that is NH3. That is not balancing. So if we again convert them, now let's write N2 plus 3 atoms of hydrogen it will be two atoms of means two molecules of N, H and 3. That is, our NH3 is the formula of ammonia, means we have to give it as it becomes the formula of ammonia. Now let's do some of the balancing by our own. Sodium reacts with water to give sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. We have to give out sodium out of Na plus H2O. In sodium hydroxide we have to take out, and separately hydrogen molecules we have to bring, atoms we have to bring. Now if we talk about this question, OH plus H2, this is NOH, but it is not balancing because we have to add 2 molecules of Na plus 2 molecules of H2O, means water. Now we have to bring them together, means we will get them together as 2 molecules of NaOH. Again let's write them separately. We get 2 Na plus 2 hydrogen, means we need them to form this. Okay, 2 NaOH plus hydrogen molecule, means hydrogen of 2 atoms of hydrogen we need. So 2 molecules of NaOH and plus 2 atoms of hydrogen. Now it is balanced. Now let me tell you about balanced chemical equation. We have done it, but we don't know what is it. Now we know that the atoms or the formula are both sides of the equation are equal. Such an equation is called balanced chemical equation. Now I have one more question for you all, that we have to balance the left side of the equation as if it form zinc chloride and oxygen molecules. Now let's solve this equation. Here we have to balance this, and we can see here there are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 2 atoms of chlorine. Now here we can see 1 atom and 1 atom of Cl and H, means now we have to make these atom, that is H of and Cl, for like we get means 2 HCl, means 2 molecules of HCl. So for solving it will be Zn. We need 2 molecules of HCl. Now the equation will be equal, that is ZnCl2, means we got 2 atoms of hydrogen here and 2 atoms of Cl. So it will be ZnCl plus H2. Now the equation is balancing. So thank you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Study with Gracie and Creative Minds Together. Thank you.